Hello and welcome to my sew along with me, sure that's what we'll call it, of making this fall cape, which could also be used for Halloween, but I'm using it just for the cold weather because I think it's really cute and it's a good accessory if you want to look like a vampire. For this project I started with about 3.5 meters of wool jacketing as well as 3.5 meters of a lining of your choice. So my first step would be to cut out what would be half of a circle skirt, but of course instead of using the waist measurement you would use your neck, and I cut that out of the lining fabric, or you could use the fabric you would use for a mock-up. My next step was to put that semicircle on the mannequin and pin at the shoulders so it would fit better. As well, I would trim off any excess fabric at the sides. After doing this, you'd be left with a front and a back pattern piece that you can now double up on for the lining. As well, you can also cut out 2 of each piece in your coat fabric. After doing this, I would pin together all of my pieces just to see the fit and make sure that I like how it looks on me. For my next step, I decided where I would want a pocket on each side, and I cut a little slit there, as well as I cut out a square of fabric to cover the pocket, of course. Then I made sure to hem around where I cut the lining fabric because it frayed very easily. I would recommend doing the same. Then I just sewed on the square of fabric to hold in the pocket. After finishing the pockets, I was ready to start on the hood. I measured the circumference of the neck so I knew how wide the hood had to be. Drafting the hood pattern is very easy. I just traced a hood from a sweater that I already had and made sure that the bottom was the same as half of the circumference of the neck so that it would fit. Once you finish the hood, you're able to sew together all of your pieces. First, start by sewing together all of your lining pieces and all of your good pieces separately. Then you'll want to put them right sides together and sew along the edges. You'll want to leave a small gap that you can push the right sides out through. After you do that, you should be left with something like this. So now we have sewn together all of the pieces, and as you can see, it sits open a little bit. So what we're going to do is add a little top stitch all the way around, up and everything. I've decided I'm going to do it in red just for a little bit of spice, and then I'm going to throw on some buttons and closures to hold it closed when it wants to be, and yeah, so we're going to get on to that. For this project I decided to use wrapped buttons, which I do by just taking a penny, putting it into a circle of fabric twice its diameter, and gathering it around the penny. So my first step was just to do a quick running stitch around the circle of fabric, and then we're just going to throw the little penny inside, and then all you have to do is tug on the string, and then you get it to gather around the penny just like this. And then what I'm going to do is go through and tie a whole bunch of knots going through it. Now that we've tied it off, we've just got our perfect little buttons. And you can repeat that step until you have as many as you want. Okay, so now that we've sewn on all of the buttons, you're going to want to measure where each of them is going to be on the other side and cut buttonholes. Or you can do loops to like put over the buttons, but I'm not going to do that because I'm lazy. So after you've finished your buttonholes, you are done. This is how mine looks. I think it's really cute. If I made this project again, I think I would make the hood a little bit bigger to make it have a more hobbity feel, as well as make the pockets just a little bit bigger. So maybe think about how big you want your hood and your pockets to be when you make this project. My favorite parts about this is the pockets and the buttons, because I think that they just add a really nice touch that they match to the lining. I had a lot of fun making this project, and I hope you guys at home try it. I wish everyone good luck and happy sewing. Thanks for watching.